Bonnie, please.
Absolutely. So this is a bill that, in conjunction with our economic development department, we see as necessary to expand the capability and tools that we have in our affordable housing toolbox to enact pilots to attract new affordable housing to the county. There's actually going to be an amendment that we believe has been sent in to council that we hope the subcommittee would accept. Essentially, the problem that we've ran into is that we are currently, through our pilot program and our right of first refusal, able to use projects that are leveraging government programs to produce affordable housing in the county. However, we have seen with some of the influx of businesses coming to the region, outside interest in producing affordable housing. However, we are actually required to enroll them in some government programs to provide. Most of our government programs have matching dollars, and so we're having to use public dollars to enact these affordable housing projects. What we want to do is ensure that if they are signing up for an agreement to produce affordable housing, that the county does not have to pay into these projects. We're seeing large companies like Amazon come in to build workforce housing. We think that Amazon can afford to build these without any government intervention. And so as long as they're signing the same agreements and the same procedures that we have with all of our other affordable housing partners to produce affordable housing, that we need to expand kind of like the third tier. So this is something that actually was discussed in 2021. We kind of ran out of time to get it in. And so this is really, completing the three-pronged approach on our pilot program for affordable housing. It's that we want to have it for the folks that are both using public programs, but then also, if you're just going to be a partner that's coming into the county to produce affordable housing, making that qualify for our pilot is important to really attract the type of affordable housing and at a lower cost to the taxpayer.
Okay, thank you. Well, what is that? What before Danny? 1 second, Delegate Travis. What is the amendment that you was trying to offer?
Correct. So it would just be an amendment to add one more criteria a piece. I know there was some language in the bill, but it's really to clarify that we want it for property that is acquired, constructed, or rehabilitated for the purpose of operating rental housing for lower income persons. That's the amendment that we would want to see put in there, that if someone's going to come into the county and construct affordable housing, rental housing for low income persons, that qualifies for our pilot program.
Okay, thank you so much. Delegate Denny Torres, go ahead.
Thank you. And just to kind of provide a little bit of history, we Delegate Lehman put in the right of first refusal program. Over the years, we developed it and created it specifically for residential properties. And the thing is that once we put it up, there's only a small amount of time that we have in the county to turn that project around. So basically 45 days to find a company within the scope, within the group of qualified entities that would qualify to join this program, to say, okay, yes, we can take on this debt, and yes, we can do this, but this is the financial gap we need to fill in the county. They sit down with the county, and we have only a limited amount of time to resolve that. And if not, and if the deal falls through, then it goes into market and it becomes a market rate property. So the question that I have, and I hope that helps also for folks who were asking questions about the pilot, but what are we looking at in terms of, are we looking at a 15-year, 30-year, or is that to the discretion of the deal as it's put on the table?
Yeah, I think we're leaving that to the discretion of the deal currently. It's really just ensuring that we have that expanded use of our pilot to increase that affordable housing stock. To your point, knowing how each one of these things can be very individual on the deal there. But we see that there's going to be a lot of investment in the county, and the use of the pilot is going to be attractive to private investors who don't want the government to have to pay to construct these. And so we want to make sure that we're, future setting for the next couple of, large investments that will come into the county for affordable housing. And we want to be very clear that this is for rental housing for lower income persons, like that sign on to the same affordable housing agreement that. Yeah.
But the thing is,
Yeah, Delegate Tavares, we have the chair. I know that she has another meeting of Delegate Jocelyn Pena. Do you have another question? Thank you, Danny.
Yeah, I think that we don't have the amendment that the county is discussing. So we probably will be dealing with this bill next week, right? When we see the amendment.
Latasha sent it out about 5 minutes before the meeting.
Right.
I don't know if you want to wait to take time to review it. I didn't get the request till yesterday afternoon, so it wasn't finalized till this morning.
So if it's okay, now, if you have an opportunity to look at, or either in reference to, this is being recorded as stated in reference to the clarification, in reference to the simple clarification that the county has added, if you're comfortable with it, as long as they, if you're comfortable with it, we can, if the person of the, who moved the motion, if they're comfortable in moving the motion with the amendments, we can do so.
I'm going to abstain from voting because I need to read it. We just got it 5 minutes ago, and I need to know what I'm voting for.
Okay,
And
okay.
it doesn't mean that I don't
No
support it.
problem.
I think that affordable housing is important, but I really think that we need to look at these bills carefully.
Right.
And not in 5 minutes, and I can't do it. So I
Not a
apologize.
problem. Not a problem, but it's the person who made the motion.
I can do a substitute motion and hold it for one more week. That's not, I don't think that's
Is that okay? Is that okay with the person who made the motion in second?
Yeah, I can, like I said, I'm okay.
Okay, but the second, that's
A
fine.
second.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, so you're okay. Okay, so we will hold this bill until next week, until we the whole committee have an opportunity to be able to read the amendments, okay? So let the record reflect that this Prince George's 403 -23 will be back on the docket for next week, for next Wednesday. Thank you. We're gonna move on. We're gonna go to Prince George's 406, Prince George's County Land Use Development Neglected Property. Elizabeth, can you read the bill, please, summary?
Authorizing Prince George's County to exercise powers of eminent domain to acquire and develop or redevelop certain neglected property located in the county that has been designated as a transit-oriented development and is located within a business development district.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there a motion for this bill?
Madam Chair, I have a question.
I know, after the motion, is there a motion for this bill?
Yeah, I'll move favorable.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, go ahead, Delegate Barnes.
Yeah, can someone explain the bill?
Danny, can you go ahead and explain the bill? And if you need me to add,
Yes.
well, let me know.
So this bill specifically targets areas that are highly neglected or areas where there's been benign neglect within transit-oriented districts and that are within business improvement districts. So right now, this only would qualify technically for the Northern Gateway, which is the area from New Hampshire to New Hampshire Avenue to Riggs Road. So it's basically less than a mile's distance. It will also apply eventually to the Blue Line corridor once it's applied, and if so desired, to Hyattsville crossing once they set up their bid. The idea is that we have places like the Strip Mall at the Transit Center, the TikTok, and areas that have been highly neglected for many years. And we want and deserve better. And this is strictly for commercial properties. We are not talking about residential because the residential, there is already a residential law on eminent domain. We're really just targeting commercial, commercial properties that have been run down. we also think that there's been an amendment included to make sure that we're compensating people appropriately, and that we're taking the quality of the building into account when negotiating a proper payment for the land and the property in question.
Thank you, Danny. And I just want to add to Delegate Bonds in the early 2000s, when they did do the eminent domain in reference to residential housing, which one, Peter Shapiro was on the county council, and also the redevelopment authority came in play. They did eminent domain in reference to residential housing, but they did not at that time put in the commercial component of it. So I just wanted to add that little piece of history. Okay, is there
Yeah,
any other
I'm
questions?
not familiar with it. And being that we're coming back next week to look at the other bill, if I can hold this bill to next week to give me an opportunity to review it, because I do have a couple of questions.
No problem, Delegate Bonds. Is that the consensus of the person who made a motion, Denny, the Delegate Torres?
I'm fine. I'm
Okay.
fine. I just want to make sure that if there's anything, I mean,
He
if you
just wants to
have
be
any
able to
questions
read, he just wants to be able.
no, no, if you have any questions, so please come
Right.
forward and talk to me, because I'm really open about it.
Yep.
This is something that I think that addresses a lot of people's concerns in the county, and so I'm really open to hearing
Thank you,
any
Delegate.
advice.
Thank you. And
Fair enough.
thank you. Delegate Turner, you're in agreement in reference, because you second it?
I'll second.
Okay, great. Okay, we will hold this bill also. We'll bring it back on the docket. Delegate Bonds will go and see the delegate in reference to any questions to this bill. We're now going to go to Prince George's 407-23, which is Prince George's County Economic Development Business Improvement District. Elizabeth, can you read the bill summary?
Authorizing Prince George's County or a municipal corporation in Prince George's County to create certain business improvement districts, requiring the county or municipal or corporation in the county to adopt certain local laws to provide for the creation and organization of a district, providing for the imposition of a certain tax in a certain manner under certain circumstances, removing Prince George's County from the scope of law governing the establishment of business improvement districts.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Before any discussion, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? We do have Delegate Lewis, Jazz Lewis on. Is there any discussion or questions?
Yeah, I haven't. Because I don't, and I apologize, I don't have.
That's fine.
But Delegate Lewis, is this the bill in which, the bill number that I asked you to reach out to the Tech Prince George's?
No, that bill you guys already moved out of, we already moved out of delegation.
Okay.
But I did speak to Bernard Wright, about that bill was on the innovation, fund and.
Yeah, I'll talk to you offline on that one, but.
Happy to, but this is Business Improvement District. The county's in support of it. It just lowers the threshold required to establish a business improvement district from 80% of businesses in the area down to 51%.
Yeah, no, I'm good with it.
Thank you all.
No, thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you. Can we do a roll call? Elizabeth, you want to do the roll call?
Sure. Delegate Barnes,
Yes.
Delegate Pena Melnick, is she still on or did she? Oh, she is.
Oh, I'm Ellen. Yes.
Sorry.
Okay.
Delegate Taveras.
Aye.
Madam Vice Chair
Yes.
and Madam Chair.
Yes. Let the motion, let this bill has been passed. It will be moved on into the Prince George's County delegation. Thank you so much. We'll be moving to the next bill.
May I ask a question, Madam Chair? Just.
Of course, Madam Chair.
Not personal, just for clarification.
Yes.
Should we get a description of the bill first and then a discussion and then a motion? What is the order? Because How does it, because it's a little odd to have the motion and then the discussion. I know that we usually do it. How does it, what is the order, if I may, for council?
I don't know, as being, you know, and you've been down here longer than I have, but as being as a former mayor and council and been doing this for the last 4 years, we usually go motion, second motion, then discussion. If it's that the will, but if
Is
it's
it
the will,
possible to get the description of the bill at least first before the
Yes.
motion?
yes,
I mean, that's what I'm really asking. It would be
Yes.
great to have the description of the bill, have council tell us what the bill does, and then we can get the motion. That would be great.
that would be no problem, Chair, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, thank you. Okay. We're gonna move to the next bill, which is Prince George's 410, which is Forest Heights Urban Renewal Authority for blight clearance. In reference to Elizabeth, can you read the summary of the bill, and then we'll go into the discussion. Thank you.
Granting the town of Forest Heights in Prince George's County the authority to exercise urban renewal powers in areas zoned for commercial use for blight clearance and redevelopment under Article 3, Section 61 of the Maryland Constitution, and authorizing the municipality to levy certain taxes and issue general obligation bonds and revenue bonds to carry out urban renewal powers.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Is there any discussion? Go
I
ahead.
have a question. I'm sorry. So I'm looking at this bill and I'm not necessarily seeing any compensation. Is it, who is the land owned by? I can see that it's commercial property. But where are we talking about the compensation, or is this a taking?
Okay. Mayor Washington, are you on?
Yeah. Good
Okay,
morning,
Mayor, go
Madam.
ahead.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Thank
We understand that this, the bill as it currently stands has commercial. What we're asking for is an amendment to add residential. And this is, it's an undertaking for us to answer Delegate Travers's question.
Okay. Delegate Torres, you good? Hello?
I mean, I could see that this is important because similarly to the bill that I'm proposing, it's in the same spirit. But I mean, the thing is that, I mean, I recognize that this is a blight to the community and needs to be rectified, but the land belongs to somebody. So, I mean, so.
Madam Chair, if I may, yes.
Go
I
ahead,
understand
Mayor
that the
Washington.
land does belong to someone, and we've asked, I mean, for years, these properties are, frequently left vacant and abandoned or vandalized or in disrepair. And what the municipality wants is the power to be able to have oversight over this and handle it ourselves, not, throwing my county, under the bus or anything. It's just that we want to be able to do this ourselves and not depend on or have to wait for the county to step in to do something.
And I also want to interject that we, Como Manor and Carter City already have these powers to do so in the municipalities. There might be other municipalities, but I am familiar with those two in reference to having those powers to do so.
So they have the exact same powers to come in and do and
Yes.
do blight removal like this.
Yes.
Right. And the only thing with this bill is it currently states commercial. We'd like to amend this bill by adding residential also. And this will give us, the power to have, more negotiating power to have these owners to come to the table to find a solution.
Okay, so there has to be like a sheriff's sale there has to be either like a sheriff's sale strategy or a tax sale strategy. If these people are not paying property taxes, then you have to be able to come in and take over that property legitimately in order to do that. because
Well,
then,
it's a whole process to it. I mean, if we have this authority, we currently have our own code enforcement. And if they're, you know, and don't quote me on this, I may be not 110% you know, with all the facts, but I know that, you know, we issue these citations. We have the ability to, you know, put liens on these properties. And, you know, if worst case scenario, you know, we have the authority to go further and do something without the assistance of the county and
yeah,
waiting processes.
yeah, but I find in my experience, liens are ineffective if people are not gonna do anything with the property, meaning like until they're ready to sell, that lien doesn't mean a thing.
Well, I mean, there's a whole legal process to this, but the end result is that if we're given this power and we take this to you know, the last resorts or whatever, you know, we will have the authority to be able to offer fair market value for these properties, take them over, redevelop them, do what we need to do with them.
And that's what I wanted to hear.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, so as long as there is a legal property in place that
yes.
will compensate the individual appropriately,
Oh,
taking
yes,
into
yes, ma'am.
consideration
Yeah,
the
we
quality of
can't
the
take a
property,
property.
I'm fine.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Thank you, Jenny.
Oh,
Is-
thank you.
Okay,
I'm fine. I'm, Madam Chair, I'm
Yes.
fine with it.
okay, is
Madam
that,
Chair.
okay, Delegate Bonds?
Yeah, so I understand that there's an amendment coming. Where are we with the amendment?
With the amendment, I do believe, I talked with the delegation yesterday in reference to, and the amendment was in reference to include residential property.
Residential property.
Right, residential property, talked to Delegate Turner in reference to her bill, so that's just the one inclusion, so I do believe that Delegate Turner had told me that she was gonna, who's that? Okay, Jocelyn, okay. With the amendment, with the residential property, but I do believe that we have the Chair Jocelyn Pena is on. Go ahead, Jocelyn.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.
I
honey.
have a question. Have we sought an Attorney General opinion to see if we could do this?
No, we have not, since it has been proven that, you know, that the county has that law and since, the early 2000s, but we have not. Is that the request of the, chair?
Yeah, I support it, but I want to make sure that what we're passing will pass constitutional muster, since you're taking property and then you decide to offer fair market value for these private properties. I just think maybe we should just cross our Ts and ask the AG's
Okay.
office for a quick letter if council can do that. And we
Okay.
can vote on it next week, but we want to make sure that whatever we present to the delegation, because the standing
That's
committee will
fine.
probably have to do the same anyway.
And that's fine, you know what, and absolutely fine. I think too also that we need to do one in reference to your bill too, Danny, in reference to the same thing. So
Yep.
if council, can you do that? In reference to if there's not a problem, you know, in committee, I will just state you can go up and down. I do not have a problem with this bill as long as the Attorney General, say that it's a thumbs up. So we.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
My bill does, my amendment deliberately explains that we are paying fair market value. It says, in determining the amount of compensation to be paid or tendered under this subsection, the party or a jury shall consider the condition of the property.
Thank you, thank you. In reference to going back to the bill, in reference to 410, in reference to what we just talked about in Forest Heights, as I stated before, we'll have the opinion, and we'll put it back on the docket for next week. Elizabeth, can you get the opinion of the Attorney General and make sure that you get this to us so we can be able to have it?
Sure, and also for, which one was it? 406
Yes,
as well? Okay.
okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I
No,
do
not a
support the
problem.
bill. I will be voting yes for it, but I just want to
Yes.
make sure we're
Yeah.
doing it.
Yes,
And Ms. Shaney, just 406 as amended.
yes. Thank you. Thank you. We have one more bill on the docket, and that's gonna be, thank you, committee. That'll be, and thank you, Mayor Washington. As you can
Thank you,
see,
Madam Chair. Good
you're
seeing
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, we're gonna go now to Prince George's, 412, Prince George's County Property Tax, credit, Office of Annual Tax Increase, and that is, Delegate Ivy on. Delegate Ivy.
I don't think so.
Okay, this is Delegate Ivy bill. Did anybody call him to let him know that his bill was on the docket?
Mhm.
Okay. What we'll do, we'll bring this bill back also since the delegate is not here or not one of his staff is here to be able to really explain the bill, even though we will have Elizabeth read the summary, but we will put this bill back on because it's not fair that he's not here to be able to explain this bill. Okay, but can you go ahead and read the summary of the bill?
Sure. Authorizing the governing body of Prince George's County or the governing body of a municipal corporation of Prince George's County to grant by law a property tax against the county or municipal corporation property tax imposed on a dwelling that is owned by a homeowner who has an annual gross income of $70,000 or less, requiring the property tax credit to be of a sufficient amount to ensure that the total amount of real property taxes on the dwelling do not annually increase.
Thank you. Thank you. So I just want to say that I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. We will be bringing all these bills back on next Wednesday and look forward to moving some bills, whether up or down. So thank you for each and every one of you. We will be meeting again next Wednesday, same time at 9:00 a.m. Thank you so
for
much
your
for,
leadership.
no, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay? Look
Right.
forward to moving these bills and let's get some good laws passed. Take care. Blessings to you. Thank you.
No, thank
See you
you.
all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your leadership.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.